Well, hello everyone and good morning. Welcome back to Coffee and Clarity with Grace. I am really glad that you are here with me this morning as always. And as I always start, I love to tell you that this is not a webinar, not a training, not a sales call. This is our table. And this is the one place each week where we can slow down, tell the truth, and talk honestly about what it looks like to build drift funnels and build our businesses with clarity, steadiness, and peace. So thank you again for being here with me this morning. Y'all know I just like to jump into it. So here we go. Today, I want to talk about something very real. I am learning a lot from drift funnels. Okay. And I don't just mean learning about the software. Okay. I'm learning several things. I'm learning about the business, about leadership, the CEO role. If you are a CEO, you know what I'm talking about. It is no joke. I'm learning about systems, clarity, and I'm learning about how much gets lost when business owners are trying to build from scattered thoughts, scattered tools, scattered follow-up, and scattered decisions. And the more I look at what Drift Funnels was built to do, the more I realize that this company is also teaching me. Give me a minute, I'm gonna take a sip. It's teaching me several things. It's teaching me how to think differently, how to lead differently, and also how to see business differently. So today, with that, as always, I want to talk to you about four things: what I'm seeing, what I'm learning, what I'm wrestling with, and what I'm appreciating as I continue to learn from everything inside of Drift Funnels. So, I'm going to start with what I'm seeing. What I'm seeing is that Drift Funnels is bigger than anything I've ever seen. It's bigger than a funnel tool, bigger than a dashboard, and it's bigger than just automation. What Drift Funnels is actually doing is helping me see that business owners, they not only need more tools, they also need a clearer operating system for how the business moves. And the reason for that is because when a business isn't clear, everything starts depending on the owner's memory. If you're a CEO, you understand that. Um, if you work closely with a CEO, you've seen these things. The owner has to remember a lot of things. Got to remember who came in, who needs follow up, what offers belong to which person, which conversation matters, and then they also got to remember what's late, what's blocked, what's leaking, and what needs attention. And just based on what I said, everybody on this call knows that's too much for one person to carry. So what I'm seeing also is that so many founders, they're not failing because they don't care. I've never seen a founder who doesn't care about their company and their businesses. What they're doing is they're just trying to run businesses without enough structure underneath them, and that creates drift. So many things begin to drift. Leads drift, conversations drift, the offers start to drift, follow up starts to drift, the revenue drifts, and we don't want that. And then because of that, the confidence begins to drift. And because of all of that, the founder starts feeling like something is wrong with them. When many times the real problem is that the business doesn't have a clear enough system. And so that's what I'm seeing. Drift Funnels is teaching me that clarity is how the business breathes. That is what I'm seeing. And that is what Drift Funnels is teaching me. So I'm going to move on to what I'm learning. What I'm learning is that everything in Drift Funnels has a lesson attached to it. Okay. Everything in Drift Funnels has a lesson attached to it. The opportunity engine, that's teaching me that not every opportunity deserves the same attention. Just because something is possible does not mean it's the next step to follow. An opportunity, it needs to be looked at clearly. It needs to be measured, it needs to be understood, and it also needs to have direction. Now, the offer side of Drift Funnels, that's teaching me that people, they don't only buy what you sell, they respond to how clearly you explain the problem, the promise, and the path. Listen, Otis and I was doing it last night. We was looking at Drift Funnels last night, and so I understand this is exactly what I'm learning. People respond to how clearly you explain the problem, explain the promise, and explain the path. Yeah. Then they buy what you sell. So the conversation and life cycle parts, they're teaching me that follow up is care. It's not, the next thing to do on the list. That is care. You have to follow up. And because it's how you guide people instead of letting them disappear. Because if you don't follow up, they're gone. Because if you don't follow up, people start to have buyer's remorse. And then the dashboard and visibility, those parts, they're teaching me that founders need to see what's happening in the business without having to dig through 10 places to find that truth. And then the AI part is teaching me that automation is not supposed to replace the founder's heart. No, it's supposed to support the founder's clarity. And that is very important to me. I don't want DriftFunnels to feel cold. No, I don't think anybody wants their company to feel cold, but I especially don't want DriftFunnels to feel cold. And I don't want it to feel like just another platform that somebody has, like other platforms that they already have. When they explain DriftFunnels, I want them to explain that very differently from other platforms that they have. I want them to get excited about DriftFunnels. And I also wanted to feel like a business finally has a way to organize what matters. And I'm learning that good systems don't remove humanity. Good systems protect it. They give the founder more room to lead, more room to think, to follow up, to serve, and more room to build without carrying every detail alone. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what I'm learning. Now, moving to what I am wrestling with. What I'm wrestling with is how much I still have to grow to carry what I'm building. Hold on. I'm going to take a sip on that one. I'm wrestling with how much I still have to grow to carry what I'm building. The more I understand DriftFunnels, the more I realize this is not small. Now I knew that, but I start to realize more and more, hey, this is real big. Okay. Not just a nice idea. This is a serious company with serious potential. And sometimes that feels exciting, but sometimes it also feels heavy. When you're building something that's supposed to help people get clear, you've got to keep becoming clearer yourself. You just have to. And so also when you're building something that helps people lead better, you have to keep growing as a leader. You do. And then also finding out when you're building something that helps people stop drifting, you have to keep looking at the places where you drift too. So this isn't just helping others, it's helping me too. And that's what I'm wrestling with. I'm wrestling with becoming the woman who can carry the company that has been built and that's continuing to be built. Not just behind the scenes, not just in private, but visibly, confidently, and clearly. And I'm also wrestling with how to explain DriftFunnels in a way that regular business owners can feel. Because I know there are lots of people out there who think like Antonio, but there are a lot of people out there who think like me too. I am a simple person. Hey, give it to me in English. Okay, that is what I say. Give it to me in English. When I talk to Antonio, I tell him, hey, hood that up for me, please. He understands that means, hey, explain that, bring that level, that real smart level, bring that a little down. Okay, bring that a little down for me. I'm smart. Yes, everybody's smart. But sometimes people just need, broken down a little bit. The jargon he uses is scholarly. Hey, bring that down a little bit. I just need so I can understand what you're saying, so I can tell it to other people who think like me. So behind the scenes, there are engines, systems, automations, AI, dashboards, routing, scoring, and intelligence. But at the table, what I want people to understand is very simple. DriftFunnels helps business owners stop building from confusion. You see, okay, so Antonio's words are, hey, we've got engines, systems, automations, AI, dashboards, routing, scoring, and intelligence. And a lot of people understood what he just said. Me, I'm going to look like, what's that mean? But when I tell people that think like me, hey, DriftFunnels helps business owners stop building from confusion. Oh, okay. Great. Okay, I understand that. That's what we're doing here. So it helps them see what's happening. It helps them know what needs attention. And it helps them understand where the next steps belong. And then also it helps them turn scattered movement into clearer business flow. So that's what I'm wrestling with. I'm asking myself questions. How do I take something powerful and make it plain? How do I take something technical and keep it human? And then also, how do I talk about a company with depth without making people feel overwhelmed? This is part of what I'm learning as we continue to build. So that's what I'm wrestling with. Now, what I'm appreciating is this. Drift Funnels is teaching me while we're continuing to build. Drift Funnels is built, but we're always improving. So it's continuing to teach me. It's teaching me to respect structure, to respect preparation, visibility, respect follow up, and to respect clarity. And it's also teaching me that a company can have intelligence and still have a heartbeat. That is really what matters to me because I don't just want to build something impressive. Okay. Everybody wants to have their companies impressive. Yeah. But I also want to build something useful and something that helps the business owner who feels overwhelmed. I want to help that founder who's carrying too much in their head. I also want to help that builder who knows they have something real, but the process feels scattered. And then I want to help that operator who needs clarity, but doesn't need more pressure. So I'm appreciating that Drift Funnels is forcing me to grow. It's making me ask better questions. It's making me think more clearly. And it's also making me pay attention to the places where business owners lose time, money, peace, and confidence. And I appreciate that. It's reason being is because sometimes the thing you're building starts building you too. And so that's why I'm appreciating this week. Drift Funnels is something that has been created, and it's also something that I'm learning from. So those are the four things of what I'm seeing, learning, wrestling with, and appreciating. And now it's your turn. I want to hear from you. As always, this is never a monologue call where you just hear from me talk. No, no, no. This is a participatory call. Okay. Y'all know I stay being a teacher. So I also want to hear from you. So what I'm going to do is I have four questions for you. I always ask these questions on the call. And so I'm going to put them in the chat one by one. And as always, you can either type your answers in the chat or you can unmute your mic and talk about, give us the answer to the question. And that way we can go ahead and talk about it. Yes, Otis, jumping straight into the frying pan. That's it. So hold on. I'm going to put our first question in the chat. Question is number one, what are you excited about right now? What are you excited about right now? I also let people know that are on the call. You may not have answers to the questions that are being asked this week, but next week you may. So come on back, and then every week we'll talk about it. So if anybody is excited about something right now, again, you can either type it in the chat, and I'll read it, or you can unmute your mic and talk about it, and we'll be excited with you. Okay. Give everybody a moment just to make sure nobody's trying to unmute their mic. If you're driving, please stay safe. Okay. All right. Otis, go ahead. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you. And good morning to the other two persons on the line. Yesterday, as you did mention that we were going through it, and I do think it's better. What I'm excited about is the the amount of stuff that's in Drift Funnels and the fact that and we didn't even get through everything. Um, the major topics, nor a lot of the minor topics within the major topics. We didn't even get to a lot of them. We did skip over quite a bit. And
Right.
I know that more is going to be added to it. So just from what we talked about yesterday, there's a lot of application, a lot of it spreads a big umbrella to help out a lot of people. And I do think that it's good. We're right there. And I'm excited about marketing this and getting out there.
All right. Well, thank you, Otis. Okay, I'm excited with you. Okay. Thank you so much for that. Listen, Otis and I were on this. Listen, we did a Zoom call yesterday and was going over a lot of things in drift funnels. And I'm telling you, there's a lot of stuff to play around with it back there. Okay. In drift funnels. Again, it is free for everyone. And I'm going to put the link in the chat before we end the call so that you can go ahead and get signed up. It is totally free. Okay. Also, I will be scheduling, I will give people a call who are on this call, give you a call to set up a time where I can walk you through drift funnels to help you go along and get acclimated to drift funnels and how it can help you greatly build your business exponentially on top of what you're already doing and what you've already done. All right, thank you so much for that, Otis. Anyone else before I go to the next question? I'll get it ready for the chat just to make sure if anybody else wanted to share. If not, we'll go to the next question. Okay, so here is question number 2. What are you carrying that feels heavy this week? What are you carrying that feels heavy this week? Now, this doesn't just pertain to business. It pertains to business, but it can also be anything else. If something popped in your head, as soon as I asked, what are you carrying that feels heavy this week? We're talking about that too. Because whatever you're feeling, whatever you're carrying that feels heavy, is going to affect the whole of you. It's going to affect your personal life. It's going to affect the business side. So if you want to share, you can. I'm not forcing you to share, but if you would like to, again, you can either put it in the chat or you can unmute your mic and share with us, and we will talk about it with you. Okay. Okay. Listen, for me, you you always hear that you need to be a constant student, and I am a constant student. But especially being a CEO, listen, I'm constantly learning every day because Mr. Smith, my business partner, he tells me every day, "Hey, you're a CEO now," and then he starts to teach things. I say, "You know what? You're right," I say, because I haven't been that before. I'm a new CEO, and so when he tells me things, I'm like, "Okay, thank you, thank you for that," because he understands he's been a CEO for so long, so many years, for decades now, that hey, here's some things that you may have not seen, or it hadn't been put in front of you, or you may not have thought about. So the things as a CEO, hey, I want to continue to teach you. And so I'm listening and taking it all in. Okay. Dealing with parents, senior ages, and the quality of life that brings. Listen. Yes. Yes. Okay. Because, you know, we joke, but we're serious when we say, hey, the parents become the kids now. Yes, they do. The parents become the kids. And so when you have, you know, everybody's going to have aging parents because we all get older. And so when you have to deal with that quality of life that does bring, because hey, as you get older, things start changing. And I have, yes, 75 and an 80-year-old parent, 75 and 80-year-old parents. And so, yeah, I completely understand. So, um, when you do have to deal with those things, first you take it all in stride and you really sit back and say, okay, this is happening. We're going to embrace this. What are we going to do? How are we going to handle this? And you continue to go on, and you fit that. You got to fit that into your life now. And uh, you do all that you can. If you have siblings, hey, talk it out with them. If you're the only child, talk it out with somebody. If whoever who the one you believe in who is higher than you, if that's the only person you have to talk to, Talk to him, okay? I am a Jesus fan, so talk to Jesus, but whoever you believe in, you know. So thank you for that person who put that in the chat. Okay, anyone else before I move to the third question? Okay. Okay, just want to make sure I give everybody time. So, question number three. What are you building this week? Again, you may not have an answer this week, but you may start building something this week and then be ready for next week to answer this question. What are you building this week? Okay, as you think about it, if you have an answer, you can unmute your mic or you can put that in the chat. I'll get the fourth and final question ready. What are you building this week? Okay, listen, I am very excited because my business partner, Mr. Smith, has a meeting with a big celebrity later on today that I am excited about to talk to them about DriftFunnels. She has her own Tubi original show, and I am very excited to hear how this meeting is going to go. Um, and be excited to see him work his magic, okay? Because when he is a builder, but when he gets into sales mode, listen, I tell everybody, well, because if they ask, well, what percentage rate sales rate does he have? 100. Every time he gets some, if when he talks to somebody, we are going back. He told me, hey, we're going back to the old school days of when we used to call and sell. Oh, okay, okay. When I was um fresh into making sales calls, and even now, after having to do it for 8 to 10 years, anytime someone says it'll be a certain type of words or a certain sentence. If Leroy should says something as I'm asking her questions, and something in the back, if they she says something in the back of my brain, I call it his spirit says, "Hey, put her on the phone with Antonio," because I know if I get that person, if I get a potential client on the phone with Antonio, oh, the close is gonna be he's gonna close, okay, and they will get our product or they will get our service, whatever it is that we have to offer. And so I am very excited today to see how this transpires and gets going. So that's me. Okay, it is my intent to build relationships. Okay, now, sir. Yes. Okay. You always want to build relationships because the more relationships you build, the more trust you have with people, the more they want to see what it is that you're doing and invest in what it is that you're doing, and the more money and revenue that you get. So always love to build relationships. Okay. Our fourth and final question. What do you need encouragement, prayer, or perspective on? What do you need encouragement, prayer, or perspective on? Again, it just doesn't just have to be about the business. It could be about anything. Okay. There are lots of things that people could get encouragement, prayer, or perspective on. So whatever you have, again, you can unmute your mic or you can put it in the chat. All right. What do you need encouragement, prayer, or perspective on? Listen, I am always excited about being a CEO, but if anybody wants to encourage or pray for me, I accept all of that. Okay? Thank you so much. Go ahead, Otis.
Okay, so this one is going to more on the side of perspective.
Gotcha.
Basically, what you were just mentioning, I think it's very, very good. An advantage that you have, you see it, you feel it, you can hear that interaction, or you will hear that interaction with today.
Hmm.
That's something that we don't have. And the perspective is it can it somehow trickle down to and for us such that we can see how the conversation goes, how uh, it's more engaging, how when to back off verbally, and pretty much just get a feel of it, of that whole. interaction.
I
And it reminds
mhm.
me of a few moons ago where I had to learn this poem. And these things come back so often. And I can go through the whole thing because I had to memorize it. But it starts off very powerfully. And it says, I rather see a sermon than to hear one any day.
Watch
And
yourself.
yeah, and believe me, I know that whole thing back and forth. And I think this is a good case, just such that there is understanding. So, and if and I'm assuming you had some interactions too, but it ends up with down a little bit further. It says, "I may misunderstand you and the fine advice you give, but there is no misunderstanding how you act or how you live." So, if we can see that, I think it'll be great. That's
Oh,
the perspective I want with in this call, if
this
it's
is
possible.
this
I
is
don't
why I
know.
like having you on the call, Otis. Yes, this is why I like having you on the call. I will definitely ask Mr. Smith if we can record the call. That way, it can allow you. Now, for those of you who don't know, Otis is a part of the company, and so he is part of our executive staff of the company, and so he wants to see the interaction for us speaking with potential clients so that they can become clients and with drift funnels. And so I would definitely ask him. I'm pretty sure he's going to say, "Yeah, we can record," so you can see how the master, okay, masters, okay. So yeah, I would definitely ask him that question so that we could record and then get that definitely get that out to the executive team. Thank you for that, sir. All right. Anyone else need encouragement, prayer, perspective on anything? Okay, just give you a moment. Again, if you want to type it in the chat or if you want to unmute your mic. Okay. All right. So these are the four questions that I always ask because each week something different may happen. You may need encouragement, prayer, or perspective on something different next week when we come back. Something next week could get heavy that you're carrying. You could be building something next week, and then also you could be excited about something next week that was different than this week. So that those are the things that I always wanted to ask. Um, things I want you to think about also, as well. What is your business teaching you right now? Because sometimes we're so focused on building the thing that we miss how the thing is building us. So focus on that as well. But as we close, here's the thought I want to leave you with this week. Sometimes, again, what you're building is also building you. That's the thought for this week. Don't not do not only look at your business as something that you're trying to finish. Look at it as something that's forming you. Because it's teaching you several things. It's teaching you where you need more clarity, where you need more structure, where you need more courage, where you need better systems, and where you need to stop carrying everything alone. Okay, so this week, ask yourself, what is my business teaching me right now? And then listen. Okay, ask yourself that question. What is my business teaching me right now? And then listen. Reason being is because the lesson may be part of your next level. So, again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for spending this part of your morning with me. And thank you for bringing your real self into this room as always. I am grateful we get to build together. And I will meet you back here next week at the table, same bat time, same bat channel. Before I get out of here, I'm going to do what I said I was going to do. Let me get this link here. Boom, gonna put it in the chat. So this is the link to Drift Funnels. Click on that link, look at it, play around with it. That it's a little, it's a bluish greenish button at the top right that says start free, because DriftFunnels is free forever. You click it, you sign up, create a username and a password. Really, your email is your username. You just create a password. And when you click create an account, it starts you. So do that again. I will get on the phone and schedule the best day and time for you so I can walk you through DriftFunnels so you can see how it works and get a better understanding of what you want so I can know what you want your business to do, where you want it to go, what direction you want it to go in, and how you want it done. And I can show you DriftFunnels and how we can help you specifically with your business. So as always, again, thank you for joining me. I'll see you back here next week. Have a great Monday and a wonderful week. This is your girl, Grace. I will see you at the top, not from the top. Love you, everybody.